Good day, everyone. Welcome to tonight's study session. So tonight we will be drilling single raise pot defense from the small blind against the cutoff, 40 big blinds deep, where we're not going to 3-bet. We're going to play on the call node. We're going to drill this one on the flop and then turn and river as well. So before we do that, I want to take a look at the small blinds 3-betting range. So if we take a look here, we're folding 73%, we're calling 13%, and we're 3-betting about 13%. So we're kind of 50-50 with our calls and our raises here. There's a small component of jams at 40 big blinds, right? Ace queen is good enough to get it in. Pocket eights is good enough to get it in. We have some suited tens that are going to get it in. A little bit of king queen and king jack that are going to get it in, right? That they're just happy to run 40 big blinds. But a lot of our strategy is going to want to play in this part of the pool. One of the ideas here is that all of these offsuit Broadway hands are really going to struggle to play multi-way if we call here and let the big blind in the pot. So at some frequency, all of your offsuit Broadways want to raise. All of your suited Broadways are also going to want to raise in some fashion or capacity too. What this is going to do is this is going to lead us with a very limited range of strong hands that are going to go post flop. What we want to call with are suited aces and suited kings, particularly because then we invite the big blind in with all the other suited stuff that we're going to be able to cooler. We're really looking to try and invite the big blind in at 40 big blinds with a flush over flush here with an ace or a king flush. We also want to call these suited connectors that don't want really to have a 4-bet because they're just going to really struggle against that. But they're strong enough to be able to make straights and flushes, which are going to be able to compete even multi-way in pots. So that's an idea on the construction of 3-betting here. So now let's take a look at what happens when we get into some hands. And we will just start with a fresh hand here. Although we won that last one. All right, so here we go. This is a hand that wants to play. Jack 10 off. We are going to 3-bet it at some frequency. We're going to have it called at some frequency. Big blind got out. We get a king high flop. Is there a board texture that we want to lead on from the small blind ever? Is there a dominant leading strategy?
That's what I was wondering throughout this whole
That's
thing.
what I was wondering.
If I remember from a Matt webinar session a long time ago, the 10 high boards are ones we have leads on, but other than that, I don't think it's
What
a very
about
prominent strategy.
Queen 4-4?
If your name's Nokraya, maybe, but
so yeah,
13% of the time. That's my guess.
A little bit of leading that's going to
244
in this strategy. We'll take a look at all of them here. We'll go to
Oh my gosh. Even this board has 13%.
So one thing we can take a look at, we just don't see it very much on an ace high board, but once we start to get down here to ace low low, there's a little bit of it. And then we also are going to see it a little bit, particularly once we get down here, this part of the tree. King 6, King 5, King 4, King 3, King 2. So this is the part of the tree that is going to kind of fall below the cutoff's opening range for the most part. And so it allows us to have a little bit of a donk strategy here on some king low low boards, and then not so much on the queen low low, although there's a little bit of it, but the jack low low, much more of it, and then the 10 the 10 connected, the 10 paired.
Yeah, although look at,
and-
what's not doing it. It's the, it's the pair ones that I said, like 10-4-4, never doing it. 10-4-5, doing it a lot.
Yeah.
I
Nailed
think
it.
I was, maybe thinking of the big blind.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So kind of going back here, taking a look at the ranges. If we look at the cutoffs range here, we can see that they are not opening their 5s and their 4s and their 3s and their 2s. And so when there's cards that are king 5-3, they've got lots of kings, but what they also have is lots of trash. And in this spot where the equities are really, really close, there's going to be some hands that we don't want to see checked back. Right? And so
So-
what are our leads going to be on this spot?
Just out of curiosity, if we donk small,
Let's take a peek at that.
do we expect population to defend appropriately or overfold? Like, how wide are they supposed to defend?
Well, because it's small, they're supposed to defend really wide, right? Which is why, like, our sets of 5s and sets of 3s don't want this pot to go check, right? King Jack, King Queen, King Jack, King Queen, right? King 10, all of these hands that are best and to some extent vulnerable. And so you see it a little bit on the king high boards, but more on the 10 and the jack high boards, where the 10 and the jack are more prone to, if it checks back, an overcard rolling off. So we're going to have a more prominent lead strategy on like a jack 5-3 than on a king 5-3, because our top pairs are going to be much more vulnerable there.
So, let's say we donk. Do you guys think he's supposed to defend ace 6 of spades?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you
Yeah.
think he's supposed to defend 10 queen of clubs?
No.
No.
Do you
Oh.
think he's supposed to defend ace 10 offsuit?
Frequency.
Maybe. Well,
Uh,
now we see it all.
Yeah, so let's check it out.
So here's the thing, like, our opponent only gets to fold 19% of the time. And I mean, 98, I think they're going to fold that, at some frequency.
That'd be me.
I don't think our opponents are going to call off wide enough in this spot, right? So the idea of a really small bet being really efficient is why we're going to want to donk this type of board.
Like ace 9-0 pure calling, ace 7-0 mixing, ace 10-0 pure calling. All the suited 8s, all the suited 9s, like, yeah. I think they're just gonna overfold this versus a donk bet.
Yeah.
So I
Jack
mean,
10.
this is where it comes to GTO versus exploitive play. Even this spot, it's like, I think I would overfold this spot versus a small bet.
Yeah.
Other opponents will be like, what are you doing donking a king high board? I'm either gonna float you or I'm gonna raise you.
But part of it becomes, if we look at what the small blind gets here with, their frequency of kings is pretty big in comparison to the rest of their range, because they're missing all the junk, right? It's really a function of a lack of junk here. Even though they lack the nuts, they have a lot of kings in proportion to how many to how much junk they have, right? And then a lot of second pairs and strong hands as well, in comparison to how much junk they have. So they just have a slight, a very close range connection, which when you're out of position is not the most common thing. So
No nuts and no junk, like a Ken doll.
This Jack 5,
Idiot.
right? We can now see we have 16%, right? Like our donking frequency has gone up here because we have more hands that are vulnerable and want protection, right? The king, we were looking to get it with value. Here, like, a lot of these jacks want to bet because they are super vulnerable, right? And they want to get value before the board texture changes. And of course, you're going to pair that with your bluffs that contain 4s and contain 6s, right? Blocking the connection, the suited connectors that are going to want to continue, and having backdoor straight capability. So, that being said, this board looks atrocious, but there is some donking here. And oh my goodness, the most disrespectful size. I would just be folding this hand, but think we get better to continue here.
I live to fight another day, but GTO Wizard always says different.
I was gonna say I think it's mixing.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Right? Like I guess probably, you know, Queen 10 we have to continue here, Queen Jack we have to continue here. So, oh, Jack 9, gross. All right. 8-7-2 connected, has a flush draw.
Yeah, 8 high board is not so good for us. They actually connect kind of well with him.
Yeah. And we'll take a look at that range versus range here quickly. When we take a look at the range versus range, we can see we've got a little bit of 8s, but we really lack the 7s and 6s. They've got full frequency 8s, and they've got lots of 7s and 6s and some extra 8s that connect with those 7s and 6s here too. So this board is not very good for us. So I expect them to bet frequently and small, but our opponent checks. Turn node. Are we
Jack.
planning to take king high to showdown?
This is one of those awkward middling ones where you're probably not gonna win, but you're also like, don't feel good bluffing and.
Yeah, I mean
know.
we'll have low suited kings. We'll have like king 4 of diamonds, king 5 of diamonds. We'll have Jack 10 off. There's just so much worse than this to bet, so I'm checking.
Okay,
Yeah, I check.
it does check. Betting's, you know, competitive on the EV side. So it's not really a mistake to bet this here. I don't know. I don't
And
see a
you-
reason to bet.
Yeah, just check.
I mean, we're not going to win very often because we're just going
We
to
won. Oh,
Hey, cool. Womp, womp.
In your dreams.
can only hope.
Nice board.
So we will have donks. This hand will get in there some. I don't think very often though. Maybe like 10% donking. I don't think it's a lot.
Okay. So let's take the high road and let's check a lot here. Ooh,
25.
Very frisky. All right. Are we going to check raise this hand?
Yeah, it's an interesting spot.
We
Never
could.
folding.
Because he bet small, we probably check raise small some. Although, wait, we don't really wanna check raise small in this board. I'm gonna call mainly for sure. I
I'm
don't wanna
mostly
get blown off it. You're mostly
th-
raising?
I'm mostly raising in game. In solver, I think it's probably like a 30 to 40% check raise. But I think this is one of our better check raises because we have backdoor flush draw and a gut shot and an over. So it's not like we have a ton of equity to lose if he jams. We're kind of okay folding. We're
Now
not.
that I'm kinda thinking about our range here. There's not we have 6, 7. Maybe 7, 8 wants to do it some, but like everything else makes a better call, right? Queen, jack makes a better call, king, jack makes a better call, king, queen. Probably a better call. So
Mhm.
I guess maybe you're right. Maybe we do wanna raise.
Oh, my one raise. How much of our range do you think wants to raise here?
15.
Okay. 15. Okay. But this is also going to connect a lot with our range here. We're not going to have a lot of folds. So do you think we're going to raise 15, call 15, and... Or sorry, raise 15, fold 15, and call 70?
I think it's reasonable.
Something like that, yeah. Maybe we can also bluff from the, like, the pocket. Nah.
Okay, so fold 25, raise 15, call 60. Right? And yeah, a big part of it, the small blind, when we take a look at their strategy as a whole, when defending against a bet, you can see that the small blind is primarily defending by calling. And calling a lot. Right? There is not a ton of raising here. And it's mixing both the small and big raise. As our opponent changes their bet size, we get more calling and slightly more raising, but mostly it just increases our call frequency or decreases our call frequency, right? When they go to pot size, boom. Now we're only calling half the time and our check raise is much more polar, right? We tend to have more check jams in this spot when our opponent bets big. So let's give it the clickaroo. It's the bigger click.
Yeah, we wanna go big here, like.
Okay.
The board,
Yeah, so
his
if we have
range is
ace-
similar, he'd,
If we
Yeah,
have ace or
Nick.
king ten, it's a very dynamic board, right? To where equities are likely to shift on future streets. So I think in these spots we want to polarize more check raising more often than not. It's not like there's locked up. It's not an ace high board, or you know, it's going to change.
He'll have a ton of floats if you go too small, he just won't get many folds, right?
Yep.
So you won't gain the value, you won't get the fold equity.
965.
We will have leads on this board as well. I don't think this hand really wants to do it. It might have slivers, but I'm just like check folding this in my head already.
Yeah. I already have 1 foot out the door here too. I mean, we just have lots of better stuff to defend than ace 3. So, yeah, I was okay. Okay. 2 broadways and a deuce.
Oh, we flatted sixes? Oh no.
Well, we're 40 bigs deep, right? Like you have some flats here. So,
I'm normally just all in pre-flop.
yep. Ooh. Big bet size and king high board. Do we get to overfold here and fold sixes?
You go.
And cheats out of here. All right, so no one's in here because
Yeah, it's
cheats
probably
gone
fine to
and
muck
Nick
it.
is already all in pre-flop. But yeah,
Yeah,
interesting. Our range really wants to defend by calling here. It does not want to fold even pair like this. It's probably not even folding any deuce.
I've been taking some of these defense spots lately, like the middle pair on the high card board. It's been working out okay sometimes.
Yeah, if we're in here with
They
ace
give
deuce
up a
red,
lot.
not folding a 10. No kings fold. So
Hmm.
just tough.
Well, we
Alright.
can always hit a 6. I don't
So
know.
we're in here with pocket fours again. Nick's already out of here. Jack 10-3, dynamic board. And
Ooh, check.
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 Yeah, I'm checking as well.
Hmm.
Why are you hovering over all in? Stop.
It's just stretching a little bit here. All right. Checking. This is fine. Ooh.
Ooh, big bet.
So he's gonna have a lot of he's
Okay.
gonna have some jacks. He's gonna have a
Okay.
bunch of tens.
Well played.
So unfortunately, I think we have to call because we checked. So we lose a lot of our
Oh.
Jack X, and some of our 10X. So our range gets a lot narrower. I mean, I think it's gonna mix, but
Say it ain't so.
I mean, we just don't have enough. We're here with our whole range, and if we're pure folding this, we're folding too much.
Go. Nick the Solver finds the sliver. Let's go.
Say it ain't so.
It's so.
That's a terrible card.
They're all terrible.
He's always betting, and yeah. This is. I'm angry. I'm mad when I'm here. We
Did
have
check
some
back,
10X.
he made an 8, right? So he's still on the draw, or with a card. Like this is a spot we probably have to call here.
Um,
What if
Because we
he's
have a diamond.
bluffing? What if he's bluffing 7-8?
Maybe
no,
no, he
you're
would
just-
check back the river if he made an 8, right?
I check back eights.
Yeah,
This might be a
I
spot
guess,
where
I
like
guess so.
fours with the diamond is a fold and
Yeah.
fours out is a call.
Four of diamonds, you got to call this.
We're supposed to call with a diamond?
No,
No,
you
I'm
want
thinking the
him to
reverse.
call
Like,
his diamonds.
I think if he has like, I don't know, king four of diamonds, he might turn it into a bluff.
For sure he would.
It might make a bad river bluff. Ace four of diamonds. Probably just checking back.
Ace four.
All of them are primarily folding here.
Can you go to our turn check range? Way back next to the, no,
Oh, yeah.
previous street.
How
Yeah,
come the diamonds had more calls?
He shouldn't be bluffing diamonds on the river. They make bad bluffs in general, but yeah, like if he had more diamond stuff, like offsuit diamonds, it would be different. But like he's not gonna bluff ace four of diamonds or king four of diamonds, or he shouldn't be.
Still have lots of tens that check this turn, and we still have some jacks that check this turn, but not very many.
and look, we're betting one or huge. Yeah,
What's his on the river? His bet range. Like I don't think he's bluffing diamonds, right? Like king four of diamonds, pure check, ace four of diamonds, pure check.
Yeah, no made hand.
What's he doing with queen four? Is just going for it though.
Yeah. All of them. All of the queen
Diamonds.
fours, queen sixes, queen sevens that he gets here with.
Diamonds is not jamming though. It's betting 11.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't want to have a diamond in his hand here. Right? He's going with all the stuff that doesn't have diamonds. He wants us to have diamonds.
Yeah, he wants us to have king four of diamonds, ace four of diamonds.
Yeah, and we want him to have king four of diamonds. So yeah, on the river, the ones that don't have diamonds, we don't call the turn, so we fold. So we don't get here with these ones to the river cheap.
Okay,
Fine.
cheap.
Okay. All right, paired 10 board. Good for us.
I'm
Heavy
range check.
leading.
I have 0 leads here.
All right.
Oh, a ton of leading.
Wow.
Yep.
It
Paired
must
10.
be
Good
Showed
a
that
function
earlier.
of our hand, like surely we're not leading too often with range.
Nope, 93% of range leading.
9 use.
30%.
That's
a
a
lot.
30. Here's a ton. Yeah, that's crazy.
So
yeah,
10-10 deuce, very different from 10 deuce deuce, of course.
So yeah, if we look at it here, right, we have some offsuit tens here. We have some suited tens, right? He has the offsuit tens and the suited tens as well as a few more. But what he has is just a really big bucket of trash. So,
We have all of the same 10x and our range is smaller, so they're a bigger
Yeah.
proportion. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, he has a few more tens, right? He has 10-7, 10-6, but
Oh, true. Okay. But they're
But
partial
really-
maybe.
yeah. So This is just a spot where we're gonna push our really slight edge across the line, and then our nut stuff here, right? Where we have this element of tens against his aces and kings and queens. Because when we have a 10 here, it's going to be hard for him to escape even a double or a triple barrel when he has aces and kings and queens here. So
I love the stair step up to trips. Pocket threes, pocket fours, pocket fives.
all right, we play the check line, and he appropriately checks a lot. All right. It is time to get out the cannon. How big are we going?
Five?
Board.
Did we check flop? I went check.
It went check.
I'm probably overbetting.
Overbet. Planning on two streeting this.
Yeah, like if I had 10 jack, oh, what size do I choose? And I'm gonna overbet, so I'll slot this in that range.
Boom.
Nailed it. And so there is a little bit of little betting, a little bit of checking, and blasting.
Do you ever not get a fold when you do this?
We didn't get a fold, but we did get a jack on the river.
In game though, in game.
Yeah, when the guy's slow playing a 10.
When he trapped ace 10, that's the only time they don't fold, right?
When the
they'll
guy's
have that.
pocket twos.
They'll have diamond draws. They'll have like pocket sevens. They'll have like, I don't know, not 9 queen suited, and they'll have some stuff like those.
Do we
Ace
have
king,
that
it doesn't want to give up yet.
I think a lot of that will see bet, right or wrong.
Do we have a clear bluff catcher here, or are we just going to go all in and make him call us?
I don't think either.
Something in between, right?
I mean, it's interesting.
We
'cause
overbet, got called.
we overbet, but this card is good for our range regardless. So I think it does leave room for us to have a less polarized option, because we'll have trips here, we'll have bluffs, and we will have a new top pair now. Yeah, I think we can. I don't think we want to jam this. I think we can check or we can bet this one though. I think it's mostly a bet though, like block bet small or 63.
2.5 is kind of interesting.
I would.
I wouldn't go that small. I'd go 37. I'd go like 37 or 75 with this hand in game.
Okay. So if you're gonna go this like size, are you gonna call off a river jam?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, if you're planning on calling off the river jam, I actually like to shove here myself. But let's take a peek.
2.5, I knew
Oh,
it.
small. Milky.
Yeah, I think we're just betting this card a ton because it's actually good for our range.
Calls us with an A.
Secure the payment.
Payment secured.
How often are we betting the river?
And then, yeah, I'm sure we call a jam.
Yeah, we can't fold. SPR is 1. We have top pair.
New top pair. Our strategy on the river. Ooh, is very jam oriented.
Yeah, we're
There-
range betting.
there's
This is
third.
cool.
Yeah, we're giving up with some small aces.
It was interesting to hear the logic though of the block bet when we improve, oddly enough. So, no, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's something you'll see a lot, like in check raise nodes specifically, or these when the texture shifts to favor your range significantly, it'll push your range to just a smaller bet size, and you'll range bet again. And it's kind of what we're seeing here.
Don't see a graph like this very often. 60% equity.
Yeah, it's just interesting in the low stakes streets. You see, well, or at least a lot of like sub $100 buy-in tournaments live. It's a lot of like raise and then half pot, half pot, half pot, right? So, like, it's not really. I guess I don't want to say intuitive, but it's not. You don't see it a lot where it's pot size bet turn and then a micro bet river.
Yeah.
But the rationale makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not finding enough small bets here. I'm stuck in this 42% camp, and so I'm looking at it, and when we go here, we can see straights and trips want to use the big size, and our bluffs, king high and bricked diamonds want to use this size.
We just have so much good stuff that
Yeah.
if we start putting like queen jack in the huge bet bucket, we're just never gonna get called by worse.
Yeah, top pair and third pair are in the small bet bucket. And there's just no checking this river really. Right? A little bit of third pair, a little bit of ace high. Very unprotected checking range here. It's because you're betting
Love it
small.
when you can range
so
bet the
small.
river, right?
Yeah, like
Love it.
you're betting that so small though, right? Like with all of the jacks and all of the eights and all of the stuff that you get here with.
If we jam, he needs a jack or better to call, right? Like he can call with like king jack of diamonds or his trap pocket aces or like a 10 that he has, right? Like,
He
uh,
calls with some eights. He calls with all jacks. No, he doesn't call with all jacks.
Mixes ace queen. That's interesting.
Yeah,
Keep us
Oh.
honest.
he'd rather
That's pretty
call with
sheriffy.
ace queen than call with a jack here, king jack. This is weird.
huh.
Yeah, he's mixing ace jack.
Must block
calling
too many
with-
bluffs.
Yeah.
So yeah, he needs some, and he's folding kings as well.
Yeah, he's folding kings almost pure.
Yeah, they're
But
never
calling
folding
with
the full
queen eight.
game.
Yeah, the queen blocks the straight, right?
Yeah.
And 8 blocks, some sets.
Blocks the
Yeah,
boat.
loves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
weird spot.
So yeah, you can't jam this cuz then you're turning it into a bluff almost, right?
Yeah, like you do get some better stuff to fold. Weirdly. I wouldn't have thought better would have folded. Like, I don't know that I'm folding ace jack to a jam. I don't know if I'm folding ace jack on this river if I get here.
I'm not.
Interesting spot.
Maybe we should be.
Maybe we should be. Well, that's why we're here. All right,
Yeah,
find that fold
fun.
on the river with ace jack and kings. Call with queen eight. All right. Ace 10-3, 2 broadways.
0 leads.
Anything happening.
He's gonna bet small. Oh, he sizes up a little bit.
All right, against the size up, backdoor straight, backdoor flush.
It's
You're
a fold.
folding.
Backdoor
Yeah.
muck.
Versus this small bet, do we have to call this? Like it's close.
Let's take a peek.
Like one
I
chip?
think- No, just
Or
like
like-
33%. I think this mixes.
Yeah, 1/3 pot. I would call or less.
I would call
It's-
one
it's-
chip, no more.
It's
Hey.
miserable. Yeah. Okay, just fold.
Yeah, queen
about-
nine,
how about
king
one
nine
chip?
starts to call it. For sure, for one
Does
chip
he-
we're getting in here. Yeah,
No.
We're all stations, bro. Alright.
You gotta live in the Louis Philippe sliver. You gotta find this sliver of check raise here with
Look, there
Where
is
is
check
Louis?
raising here. What do you mean?
it.
Let me grab my magnifying glass. You can see it. We'll have leads here. I don't think this hand really wants. No,
Sure.
I think this is definitely hand class.
I don't think we lead.
You don't think we have leads?
Okay, maybe a little, maybe a little.
I think. Like, what do you mean a little?
5%.
Like less. Yeah, I think it's like 15%.
The over underline is 14.5. Anyone taking bets? We got 6 seconds before the solution is taken.
14.5.
6.5.
You're better. All right.
All right. we're both leading this like animals though. All right. Flop goes check. New top pair on board. Hand strength downgraded. King. Go
Check.
for him.
We'll have bets here, but
Easy game.
oh, I'm surprised. I would say never this hand.
Yeah, I would never bet this hand either. Okay, flush completing is good for us.
God bless. Our hand keeps getting downgraded. I think we still check this.
Bet one.
Our opponent's
Or
gonna have
check.
some flushes here.
We'll have some 10x, we'll have some king x. We want to slot this into our check call range, I think. It's just too weak. Nope, I'm too weak.
Just go for value.
It's the same.
But it's picking a very small element here. Because he's gonna raise us a lot.
Oh wow.
Wow, we went for value at ace high, bro.
Got the max.
Oh, I guess he has to call an ace high when he doesn't have a spade, right?
I don't know.
Okay. 9. Seems like a very easy check. 2 broadways, bad for us.
Don't bet large. Okay.
For us. Okay, up goes check.
So
So
do we
what's our
want
plan?
to? Would we rather bet Jack Queen or this hand?
Jack queen to get value from this hand.
I'm not sure.
So
Yeah, I think it can check or
Check
bet
call
small.
still.
I think they're both fine.
I think our opponent has a lot of this in their range, and we can get value when he has a 7 or an 8 here. We're
I
still ahead
think
of
it-
some of the jacks, and he's limited on the kings. I think this is going to want to bet for value.
65% bet small, the rest check. No large bets.
I could get behind that. 4% bets.
God. All right, what's Jack Queen doing?
Let's take a peek at this range here. Okay. So yeah, we're just super
All the jacks. All the jacks checking. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we're driven by the value of now we bet a lot of our best kings.
We actually don't have that many Jack X, which is significant here. Like our value range is King X or better.
Yeah.
Jack X isn't slotted into it.
Yeah. King 9 really is the thing, right? Like this king with the straight blocker. And then 2 pair. And then ace 10 and queen 10 are the bluffs. And we're just polar here, right? It's all big sizing. Okay. So get a little check. Surely we can get called by ace 10 here again, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's get called by ace 10. Pocket 6s. 10-7. Chip it.
Ship it.
All right.
All right. So 10-10-2, we led a ton.
Uh-huh.
10-2-2.
We never lead.
No, I think
I
Danny
think-
called this in the beginning. We thought we should lead with this, but we don't.
So what's the difference between like from a theory perspective, 10-2-2 would be better for our range because we'll have more combos of 10x. Right?
Yeah, and the 10x is vulnerable, whereas when we have trip tens, it's not vulnerable.
So
So I don't,
mean,
so I don't know why we're leading the trip tens board.
I think we still have a lot of I'm leading this. I'm not leading a lot in game because I don't lead enough, but I think the small blind here is gonna have like 15 to 20% leads. I think this hand will slot in there.
Mostly check though, still, right? Like it's not going to be over 50%.
I don't know.
95.
It's not.
Yeah.
Check
So
and show Nick the bad news.
yeah, no, I could be very wrong. So this is interesting though, right? Because when it's 10-10-2, there's less combos of value hands that we have because there's 2 10s on the board. So why are we leading more often when there's 2 10s on the board and then never leading when there's 1
Oh,
10 on
you
the
know
board?
what it might be actually? It's not driven by the trips so much as like no,
He
but
has
we don't have that
overpairs?
many pairs either. I'm thinking the pairs, right? Like,
Yeah.
we flat a
No,
lot of
we're
pairs, we have a high pair
yeah,
density,
not really. We have like 2s through 6s on the
but
rest are
we
jamming.
don't. Yeah, can you put the
Could
weight
you
on it,
break it down
maybe?
by looking at the range comparison and who has the nut advantage and who has the range comparison?
Oh, so
Range advantage
ridiculous.
in these two
Alright, this
different
one first. Oh, we do
flops?
pure have all of those.
Yeah, 2s through 6s and 7s mixes, and the rest are jamming. So equity is
Small
pretty
blind
close
has
together.
a little bit of a range advantage, but not much.
Change it back to 10-2-2. 10-2-2.
And it's, yeah, super, it's the same.
Cutoff has a
Now-
slight equity advantage in this one.
But now at the top end of it, we don't cross
Throughout.
over the line, right? Like before we crossed over them and had a nut advantage at the top. Now we don't have that nut advantage at the top.
Yeah.
So even
Which-
though
I see, because
equity,
we
we don't have
have-
nut.
we have ace 10 off, king 10 off, queen 10 off, which are beating his overpairs when it's 2 10s on the board. When it's like
Yeah.
this, we're never beating his overpairs.
Right.
Okay.
Which makes sense when you compare it to the boards that we donk on from the big blind. It's when there is a straight available and we have a lot more straights, so we have a nut advantage.
But why does the fact that we have that little edge at the top translate into us leading? Is that always how that works? I guess so.
Well, only since solvers came into our world, probably.
I mean, it's in relation to the equity advantage, and it's proportional to the strength of the equity advantage. Like, if you have a massive advantage, you're going to be just leading a ton small.
I think it really comes down to nut advantage. Who has the nuts, and does the out of position player have the nuts at a much higher frequency than the in position player?
We do until they make a call on a bet, and then there's an equity shift, right? Where they've
Yeah.
dumped out their trash bucket, and they're left here with more aces, kings, queens, and a 10 once in a while,
Yeah,
right? Versus us who still have a broader part of our range because we're range betting, 20% on 10-10-2.
yeah.
A pretty easy check here, and a pretty easy call. I don't think we raise here very often.
I just went to a Jeffy seminar, so I'm gonna raise all the time here.
This one's interesting because we don't really have any deuce X to structure our raising range around.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for us to have bluffs here, so I think it's going to be hard for
Yeah.
us to raise value here.
So that was my question: is do we want to have bluffs here? If we want to have bluffs, we need to raise ace 10 first, then king 10, then this hand.
What if we never
Um,
raise here?
Yeah, like I think our raises are going to be ace 3 of spades and ace 4 of hearts. And
I-
that's going to correspond to ace 10 and king 10. I think queen 10 is going to do it a bit, but I think it's going to be a really high frequency call here.
I think it's like 30% raise, mostly call though.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we still want to have raises for value and bluff some, so I think we'll have check raises.
So you'd mentioned that you were in a different seminar, and this is a spot that they would always raise. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Oh, I was kind of being cheeky. So I went to a Jonathan Jaffe webinar, and if you know anything about Jonathan Jaffe,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
incredibly aggressive. He's also an incredibly skilled poker player, but he really just tries to encourage people that attend to check raise more. And we were going over spots like this, and so he was just talking about check raise frequencies. But I was being cheeky. Nothing particular about this texture.
But look at it, check raise like a maniac here.
Yeah, so Jaffe's always finding these. I mean, and he's his point is people don't know how to play against them, so find them at the highest frequency.
25% fold, 50% call, 20% raise here. So pretty frisky. So
You can
what
see the
are
clear,
we bluffing?
the clear strategy here is check raise ace 10 first, then king 10, then queen 10, then jack 10.
Yeah, you can see the decreasing frequencies on the offsuit side, particularly. Right, the suited side's a little more resilient because it all has some backdoor shenanigans too. But
Also,
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
found the bluffs correctly.
yeah, I mean, doesn't it kind of miss most of his range too? I mean, the 2-2s I think increase it because it just he never has that. He might have some ace 2 suited, but that's it.
yeah, it's interesting because like when we look at kind of the global report here, right, like you can see there is a huge swath of green from somewhere around 70% down to here, somewhere around 15%, right? So, and it's a little bit less as we go further down the tree, but like pretty consistently, there's a 55% call range on all boards in this particular node. And that's why I really wanted to look at the small blind today, because I could see the big blind having a 30% check raise here. But the small blind, the nature of their pre-flop calling range, and oops, get out of here. Right? When we take a look at this, and because I'm a really aggressive 3-better, and I'm 3-betting all of this stuff pretty frequently, I really leave myself capped on strong hands. So yeah, I wanted to really examine this call node today and see how we play, and it seems to play pretty passively.
My favorite.
Yep. Check raising's fine. This is good. He's gone up. Opponent doesn't polarize. All right. How big do we go? In game, I would almost always go this size.
Yeah, I think we have big sizes to get value from their pairs lower than 10.
If we have jack queen of diamonds here, what size?
Like 90% pot. This would be very standard for me. I actually have a hotkey, 90% pot.
Yeah, I think we mimic our value, right?
So I think we want to have some small bets and mostly large bet here.
I
I feel like 7 might do the job. And by do the job, I mean when we have a bluff. Cause he'll pretty much range bet flop, probably. Then he
I
checks
kind of
back
want to,
turn.
like,
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
want to bet small, like 15 to 20% of the time, and then mix bet 10 and 16.
down here.
I'm not really touching the 7.
Okay.
Yeah, just giant.
Blah.
He's just capped.
Okay. Let's take a look if this is all of range doing this.
Yeah, but sometimes they're so capped that you don't even have to bet that big.
But it lets you have bluffs.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Yeah. So pretty heavy mixing, right? Like about 20% here, about 20% here. So the stuff that is going super small. Let's take a look at it.
Pocket pairs below the board.
Yeah. Pocket pairs below the 10 wants to go super small. A 5 wants to go small. And just some real air balls.
And the boat. The
Right?
trappy
Stuff
pocket,
that's-
5's full.
Stuff that's trying to get an ace to fold. Right? And then 3s and 5s that are betting for value.
Mm.
Right? And then the bigger bucket right? So here's where our 10x is betting.
Jack nine.
And then the bluffs that wrap around the 10.
And you can see it's your weaker tens betting this sizing. And then when you go to the overbets, it's gonna be queen 10 and king 10 with some ace 10.
Yep. Queen 10, king 10, and then the top end of the bluff. So queen jack, blocking
And-
his kings and queens.
Are the jams just ace 10?
Oops. And the jam is just no, it's the under tights. Quads the tights. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
quads and tights and a couple bluffs.
Quads and what? What are you calling threes?
The tight full house
Tights.
tight.
Haven't heard that one.
Then a little bit of bluff. The straight also goes for it that size. Yeah, straight just goes all in. Tight goes
Fake
all
straight.
in. Fake straight.
Huh.
Nice.
Oh,
Alright.
rip.
Some people are just jerks, Mr. Simpson. All right. Brush hand. King 4.
No. I'm never leading this on it with any hand.
Ooh, big bet.
Nah, easy muck. No,
No, easy mark against the big bet, right? Against the small bet, 5 high.
Market versus small bet too, I think.
It gets dicey versus small bet because we don't have that much connectivity with that board. So I think we need to defend with some backdoor flush draws, and that's our best backdoor flush draw.
Maybe
yeah.
it's gonna be tough on an ace
No,
board.
king queen of spades is our best backdoor flush draw.
No, because we want him to
Don't we
have
have
the-
like king 6?
Yeah, we're definitely
King
gonna have
nine
king
of
6,
spades.
king 9. So we're gonna have some interaction there. But we get this easier decision. Are we leading this board?
Nah,
We will have leads. I'm not leading with this hand though.
Okay. Not leading with this hand. It's close. 3.5%. Big bet size. All right. So if we were planning on check raising, we're not planning on check raising very often anymore.
Yeah, this is an easy call.
100%.
happy
Ooh.
day.
Well, if we were planning on check raising, we have now increased our check raising.
So do we want to have leads when the straight? Probably not.
I don't think when he bets that big on flop.
We will have queen 10, but yeah, I think it's just a range check again. No,
Maybe
slivers.
like on a 10, we'd lead a little.
Right.
So B21, I think. B150.
Yeah.
I mean, are we sticking with the theme? Yeah.
I mean, is this greedy enough to go for the whole enchilada?
Yeah, I'm between 21 and jam.
I mean, we have
Yeah.
6, 7 here.
I'm-
We have queen 10.
I'm ripping. Yeah.
Right? We have 10-7. We have sets. Is
Man,
two
if
pair
you
maybe
rip in
something we wanna
game,
put
they're
in the
just
small
folding
bucket?
everything.
That's fine. I have bluffs.
I wonder if he ever plays nines like this, and 9 would call B150 at some frequency.
So if we have 3 available straights and some sets, do we also put some two pair in the smaller bet bucket?
Now you're speaking my language, Pete.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Let's milk the guy. Come on, secure the 8. Secure the
mean,
bag.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
actually I'm securing 5.
five. Let's not
5.
even get off too easy.
I'm 21 or jam.
I got to admit, I'm 8 or jam here.
We have queen 10,
Yep. 10-7, 6-7.
It's
All
got to be 0% jam.
pocket.
0% jam. What?
On this board with this hand, it would blow my mind if there's any. I'm betting 8.5, but
Okay.
I feel like we're smoked on this board, like, the guy's
went
got so
check,
much
check.
better. He can
Turn
have
went
6,
check,
7,
check.
listen, he can have 6, 7, he can have pocket fives, he can trap queen
Yeah.
10.
No.
Those are all low
That's what I'm
frequency
No,
though.
thinking.
Those are
queen traps. No.
kind of monstrous under the bed. I mean, they happen, but
No,
it's
for
rare.
sure, for sure,
7, I
but,
don't
but
think
like,
there, but
I still don't think we get to go enormous.
Danny, if we bet this size and he jams, you're folding, right?
Am I the only B21 here? Man.
I guess you
We'll
are.
cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah, I'm itching here. I'm 3x potting this here, but there definitely appears to be some lack of consensus. So let's punt it all off and see how bad it goes.
I'm usually wrong in these spots.
40%.
Look at that.
Give me the
Look at
money.
that.
Let's
Give me
go
the
all in.
chips.
Yeah.
Give me the chips.
Yeah,
That's my pot.
everyone who had a little bit of the shenanigans on the small bet side, this is also just fine too. You can see the EV is actually better here.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean,
Hey.
both the small size and big size are targeting different parts of his range for profit.
Yeah, like this is the Melky wants to get 8 chips size. This is the heartbreaker. I want to end your tournament size. So all in and I just had nothing. I don't think it matters what size we bet there.
I want to end your
All-
tournament
All
size.
in and he folds unless he has the miracle 6, 7.
He might have bluffed bet blocking the nuts there.
So the interesting part to me is where the bluffs come from when we jam. Like, are we jamming pocket sixes, pocket sevens? Or are those betting small? And
Or
is
a
it like king?
random 5?
like
Do we ever have a
king,
5?
king? I think king 10-0, ace 10-0 probably jam.
10-0, ace 10-0, king 10, queen 10. Yeah, just
Blocking
all
his
the
trap,
tens.
nuts, okay.
All the 10x.
What are these suited sevens?
Bricked spades.
You just say same concept, just queen of spades, king of spades. I'm not jamming spades here though.
On the turn, how often should he check back the queen 10?
Never.
Let's take a look. Nope, no,
Never.
not checking back.
Okay,
Don't
What about
make
10-7?
money.
Nope,
That's
still
true.
not checking back 10-7.
I guess that's what I'm missing. I'm not seeing the opponent's range as queen 10 never checking flop, so that's why the opponent doesn't have it. Where it's a little bit safer to jam that river.
Exactly. So this is all based off of the turn action, right? So it went check check. So when they're checking back the turn, they're saying they don't really have a strong hand, so they kind of cap themselves. So our significantly improves in value.
8s, 9s, 4s, jack, like all the sets bet, all the 2 pairs bet. Yeah, okay.
Like, is he checking like aces and kings some?
He's
Like,
only
those
checking
aren't-
back sets of jacks. Right? And some king jack and some ace jack. They're just planning on check calling.
Like if I'm villain, I'm not really happy with aces here. Like, I might check those back some. Yeah.
And then does that call a 240, like a 245% pot jam on river? Like, what does the opponent call with on the river?
Yeah, it has to.
That we beat, the jack 8 beats.
Aces, kings.
Aces is there.
queens.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Every
ace jack,
jack.
king jack, jack 10.
Every jack. Hi.
Yeah, jack
Holy
6.
that is some sticky shit.
Well,
But I guess
it-
check
it's
turn,
check,
like you said. It was check turn, so that's what. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, like
Do
you
you
just,
think it's realistic? People don't fold top pair, especially when they cap themselves by checking.
yeah, there's there's a laundry list of guys who have the CFTP tag on my HUD, right? Can't fold
Can't
top.
fold.
Can't pull top pair.
Yeah, and those guys,
CFTP.
when it's two pair and I have that tag, it's all in every time. Right? They just never.
There are a lot of scenarios where you should not fold top pair.
That's right. But if you have a tag, I'm getting you.
Alright. You can get me.
Ace 3-3. I mean, okay.
Alright, Nick. Alright, Nick. Now you're speaking my language. Go ahead.
call.
Yeah.
Okay, so where are bluffs gonna come from? Do we have to have a worse king to bluff here? King 4, king 5?
Yeah, we want to have straight draw interaction. We're not gonna have enough though.
We don't have it. I'm like jack 4. Wait, we don't have jack 4. Fuck.
Yeah, just king 4, king 5, right? So it picks king 6 a little bit, but like king 7, I'm never check raising here.
Yeah, what does our range look like on that flop?
Ay,
Let's look after.
yeah.
Right
Okay,
now.
we can take a peek at that check raise strategy on the flop. Whoa, it is check raising a ton.
It's
If you have a
bluffing with it's nothing.
56, 76, 86, all three suits. Like it is getting after it hardcore. Any
It's just the
ace,
bottom.
Stone cold
Except for
bottom, and then
9-7.
we drilled the king 4, king 5. Like you don't have the straight draw interaction with it.
Hey, Peter, will you click on breakdown real quick and we'll see over here next to ranges on the above the chart. Yeah.
Oh.
So
This is weird. You-
yeah, we can kind of see how his bluffs come from the very bottom and the very top. If you look at this, I think it's called a city graph. If you look at the top vertical graph.
Is
Horizontal.
quads pure check raising? Jesus.
Yeah, get value from the ace, right? It makes sense. They either have it or they don't. If they have it, they won't fold. If they don't, they're not gonna, I mean, but if they. They could barrel it off, right? I don't know.
interesting.
Yeah, so if you look at the very bottom, you can see where his check raise bluffs come from, which is the very bottom of this horizontal graph. You can mouse over it.
Okay.
And you
Oh,
can
and
see
you-
exactly where these are all coming from.
So yeah, 2 cards under 10. All suited, all back doors.
Thanks.
Neat. Thanks. Whew, spicy check raises. All right. Well, we missed the check raise opportunity. We got here on the turn. This is just good for our hand, not good for our range. I mean, I don't think we get to check raise now against the double barrel.
Agreed. I don't think we get to check raise this sizing.
Yeah, are we getting the right price to continue or not here? This is pretty close. 26?
I think
don't
we
think
gotta
we-
call, we beat bluff still.
I mean,
Yeah,
we
we-
wouldn't. I don't know about the implied odds here though, because we're not that deep.
We absolutely have to continue, but do we have value hands we want to check raise? I can't think of any.
Not a lot.
Except turn sevens.
Ace 7 suited.
Yeah, problem is we're check raising that on the flop some frequency, so we like don't really have any combos.
Pocket sevens.
Yeah, we have
turn-
that.
turn
But we're
sets.
jamming. I think we're mostly jamming that pre-flop. We have it like half the time.
We don't need to bluff here. We could consider turning other spades into a bluff, but we have king high. It's okay.
And we-
Oh,
Check.
alright,
comes
check
in.
and hope
we have
he
a
checks
lead?
back.
No leads. He bet twice. No, 0 leads.
Not in this spot, I don't think.
Yeah, he had a very polarizing
Can't
action on
articulate it,
flop and
but-
turn.
He bet flop. He bet turn. Yeah, just fold.
Ah,
I don't think we call
uh,
even like a 2/3 bet. I don't think we call.
pretty clear. Like this is just a really bad combo to have here.
And he's gonna have like 10 jack off. Oh, okay.
Ace queen. All right, we'll do that. Low.
Get
Not quite
out.
what? Flush completes. This card is good for our range. We're gonna have some aces here.
And we're at the very bottom. We're very close to the bottom of our range, so
Yeah.
I think we can construct a street bluff at some frequency. No equity bluff.
I disagree. I think we're kind of near the top of our non-pair showdown range.
Don't we
Um,
not non-equity bluff with no spade? Oh, I guess it did when you, I don't know it. We'll see. Let's we'll see what next.
We'll have worse kings than this that are suited. We'll have some queen high, some jack high. We'll have some low suited stuff with interaction. I'm just check folding this.
Our worst kings might actually have better equity here, right? Because we're gonna have the spade with them sometimes.
King 7 of clubs,
Yeah.
king 5 of clubs.
Blocker.
Yeah, like I think it's gonna barrel the suited combos lower because I know that it likes to barrel like off, like it chooses suited combos for bluffs more often a lot of times.
Everyone else just getting out of the boat here.
Yeah, just fold.
Bye.
Going.
I think if we had like king 10 with the spade, we could bet, but we just have,
Look at him check
Not
back
much.
top two like a.
that's gross. Some leads, not a lot.
Check.
Yeah, this
I mean, okay, maybe we could lead here a little.
this hand I'm checking.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
We should play the lead line once or twice.
Well,
For fun.
365.
what? Why are we raising? I'm angry.
Well, I gotta take.
You gotta find out where you're at, Nick.
That's crazy.
So,
That's a good one.
flush draw board. Okay, with a lot of bluffs that are flush oriented here. So why does it want to raise this ace-6? Because it's doing it to all of them,
Yeah, I have no clue.
right? Like I
Yeah.
can get behind ace-5, ace-3. I guess it's for
Sure.
value.
I haven't the foggiest. I'm not gonna lie. I have no clue why
Little
it's check raising
protection-y,
second
right?
pair. What's the value of raising?
But
You
God.
get 8-9 to fold.
Printing.
Actually, you might not get 8-9 to fold.
all right, let's examine that. Let's see what folds, because like, I mean, he's just calling all his sixes, calling all
The
his
random
jacks.
2 overcard stuff that doesn't connect well. Like queen 7, king 7, the 7 and 8 block and the offsuit 9 block. Which like will fold, but still has reasonable equity against our 6.
Okay.
It's just weird, like raising with ace-6, because like when we check raise a6, I think we're getting folds from. I mean, initially I'm thinking like ace-8 off has to fold, ace-9 off, ace-10 off has to fold, but we don't really want those hands to fold.
But they're actually, as Dean pointed out, a lot of them are calling still, like they're mixing, right? But ace-10, ace-9, pure calling, well, not offsuit, but, and then we can still kinda cooler them on an ace. An ace-queen, ace-king, pure calling.
Yeah, like
Alright, so
he's calling a lot of stuff here that we're still ahead of. So this is a value. This is a weird value check raise.
plan is to check raise and hit an ace. Got it.
Yeah,
It's kinda mergey, clean up the equity, maybe cooler him sometimes, maybe win now, like.
yeah. This is
Maybe
a-
bust the tournament. You never know.
Yeah, maybe get a king and we're
Well,
like, why did
what
we
happened?
inflate this pot?
Pete, does he have a raising range? Yeah, never
He
mind.
sure does. Alright.
Ah, yep,
Move
yep.
on.
This answers my question. I was like, what
Oh,
happens if he
goodness.
raises? I'm just, this is a blender.
I am never calling this off at 0.03 because how are we gonna play future streets?
You're basically praying to hit a 5 outer, aren't you?
Oh, we're just check folding now.
Yeah, I think we're gone now.
Oh my god, this asshole. Fuck.
This guy's a
Screw this
genius.
guy.
Just
Yeah,
fold. We're
the-
indifferent on the turn.
No.
I mean, on the
Yeah.
flop.
It's going all in.
Someone get your boy.
He's range jarling the queen.
He's range Charlie the Queen. Alright, I gotta jam, see what he is. Ace Jack, you just had Jack. Okay.
Oh my goodness, what? We're just drawing dead.
We
The
Because
good
we're
old
trying
range
to fix-
jarl.
We blundered
Yeah.
into this spot. This was pretty fun.
We can check raise and cooler him, right, guys?
Yeah, maybe an ace will come. Alright, this one's gonna go better, I feel.
Jeez.
So the 7 might be a card that we want to lead here a lot.
I don't think we have leads on 8 high boards.
Okay.
We're just gonna struggle really.
I predict this will lead more than our range leads, but maybe not.
Probably not.
I guess not. Our range is probably a couple percent.
Yeah, well, yeah, we just
Check
don't really.
territory.
Yeah, we just don't have connectivity with this.
Check territory.
It has to be 9 high or better to have leads.
Yeah, no, but I was saying if
We
our
just knew we
range
were
led
gonna hit a
2%,
7.
I thought the ace 7 would lead more than 2%. It could still only be 4%. But then it did not.
Uh,
Alright, so we
check,
hit our pair.
Check, bet small.
I would bet 2.2.
I would bet
think.
2.2 as well. That's my go-to sizing here.
Good price to continue with all his draws here now.
I think larger is reasonable.
3.6 I also like.
Yeah.
Would you go bigger even?
No.
Not with this
think-
hand, but
I think I have some
Yeah.
friends that want to go this size, and I think I want to go this size with a 7.
I think this even the 7 will have some like 5.5. I'm mostly in the 2.2 here.
Okay.
But I think there'll be
Dean-
some 5.5 as well.
small he'll still fold queen jack, stuff like that. The auto folds still go away.
Ooh, so if you bet 2.2, you expect him to fold Queen Jack of clubs?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's just larger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's give it a slight larger size, and let's see if he folds
Huh.
that Queen Jack.
I mean, because he's still capped. So, I mean, 9-10 gets there, but he's probably mostly betting that pre-flop or on the flop, rather.
Ooh, King Queen off. It gone. I mean, maybe I'm
There you
fishing
go.
along here, but I don't know that I'm folding for 2 chips with King Queen.
Yeah, I'm probably not on the station.
Yeah.
I kind of want to lead this with the spade heart combo.
This is a good check raise candidate as well.
I'm down, Nick.
I think it's going to be here at pretty good frequency. Yep.
Like
Look at
this
that.
specific combo,
Found
like
the
I
big
wouldn't,
combo.
I wouldn't.
We
I'm
pick
out of my
up
deck now.
equity.
I'd like to phone a friend. I don't know what to do anymore.
Well, we pick up equity.
Alright, hi, your friend has arrived.
We have to bet. So sizing.
I wanna go small again. Is that crazy
don't-
to just keep
Yeah.
going 1/3?
I don't like. I hate small. I despise small. If we're
Doesn't
betting, we
well.
have to polarize.
You despise small.
That's what she said.
Okay,
I mean,
you know what?
it like
I think you're right.
having the 10 of spades kind of sucks here because we're blocking so much of his calls. That we want him to be calling with on the flop. So. God bless. I mean, I think we have to barrel. Like we picked up
with,
three.
what are you doing with king 5 here? Just checking?
I'm
Yeah.
not leading.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Oh, on the flop, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we had like ace jack, all right, yep, sure.
Yeah,
I
nice.
was gonna say we have to polarize, so or check. It checks a lot
Or
more than
bet small.
There
Is
is a
it-
little bit of small.
is it check jamming?
Ooh. Okay.
I don't know what you do when you check. It's a very interesting node.
Yeah, like you can see it's wrapping around. It's still really polarized here. Queen 9 and Queen 10. If we do check,
I don't think this hand wants to jam because we have the spades.
yeah, like our
Are we
opponent
checking
becomes-
our particular combo? Yeah, go ahead, Pete, and then I'll interject.
like when we check, our opponent becomes very polar here. They don't have a small betting size, so it's going to be
Does-
hard for us to check jam here.
We'll say they bet 6 or 9 just to see.
They get the smaller size. 6.
We fold, right?
10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we're
No,
checking that
This
combo.
is ripping, right?
Some
No.
non all in raising. Mostly non all in. 18.5.
Look at
3x.
the queen of hearts, 10 of spades was just folding though.
And the vice versa, queen of spades, 10 of hearts is never folding. Okay.
Yeah. So the one that was the worst to bluff is also, we're just gonna check fold it. I guess like blocking all the stuff that we're trying to make fold turn. All the backdoor heart stuff or the single spade stuff. But then why do we, why do we still like the 10 of hearts, queen of spades? I don't know.
Oh, well. Because we unblock him having queen high spades, which never fold. All right, is this a triple barrel? Having a spade here is bad. Having
What's the river?
king of
What if
clubs-
we bet 3 and make him fold, ace 10 of spades? No, we have the 10, dang it.
Yeah, like having this
My
spade is pretty
hand
bad.
foiled by me. I think
I
we just
really
have
wanna
give
find
up.
a way to bet 3 though.
I'm giving up. Like the 10 of spades is the worst card in the deck to have.
Yeah.
Like bar none. We block
Is
9,
bet-
10.
Is
that
betting 3
calls,
better than
like,
checking though?
No.
Surely it has to be. There has to be something he has that will fold to 3.
We block 9, 10. We block flush draws. It's just a check fold.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get a tiny bit of folds when we bet this size, but really we're just giving 3 more chips away most of the time.
Alright,
So it's not bad.
you convinced me.
Oh, jamming's pretty close.
Jamming's way better.
Oh.
It's actually the worst option.
Now you're talking my language.
Bet 3.
Works. Ah.
Oh, I'm gonna get
He
him
might,
next
he might, he might have folded for 3.
He might have. Three. All right. So a lot of checks on that 8. Ooh,
So I was gonna say, do we raise, but not versus the sizing.
not versus this sizing, but I mean, we've seen some spicy raises with second pair before. When the
Yeah,
guy
we've
had
been
the
rolling
jack
before.
with the 6. So okay. Not good. Well,
I wonder if part of it on the jack 6-4 board. I wonder how often he's c-betting 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, and we like feel comfy raising our 6 if he'll check those back a lot. Whereas here he like still has all the overpairs.
I mean, this is starting to get pretty dicey. I think I'm gonna fold here.
Yeah, I think we're pretty indifferent at this point.
Think this is mixing, so I fold.
Easy call.
The
I like that our king doesn't interact with his straight draw E bluff stuff, and I like that we don't have spades in our hand. And
Oh, it's printing. It's not gonna fold. Okay. He gives up. Okay, reasonable. He turns better equity. 2 overs. I would have been bluffed out on the turn a lot there.
The king must be one of the best kickers for us there with the 6.
Yeah, a few nits in the chat fold too. Yeah. All right, double Broadway backdoor. Ooh. I think this is going to be very size dependent. Oh,
I,
okay.
I like the zero sizing. It makes me feel better.
Is this just a give up here?
Yeah, this board, I think, is favorable for imposition, so we're often going to give up here.
I'm betting small. I'm near the bottom of our range. I think we can flush completes. If the flush didn't complete, I would want to size up a little bit, but I think I want to bet small.
Unreasonable.
Wow, I'm taking notes.
Interesting check back on the flop. Like, I don't know that I'm checking back very often with this hand on the flop. For him.
It's
Gonna
probably
have
very,
a nothing.
probably a very infrequent play. Solver just randomized it. Wow, half the time.
Look at all those checkings.
Yep. Check, 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 check.
Oh,
Lots of aces check, all kinds of queens check. So he's
Is
very
population checking 55% of the time here?
Hell no.
No, I don't think so. I think they're range betting.
yeah.
And they're never betting 5.5 either, I'll tell you that.
2 Broadways. I do have some size up here. So yeah. I'm definitely betting bigger here.
Me too,
Alright.
Pete, but we're not the population.
Are you kidding? I run into daddy like 6 times a day. And yeah. All right. One more. 9, 7, 3, Queen 10.
Before you click anything, we do have leads here.
20% of the time with this hand.
I think this hand's a decent lead, actually. Yeah, I like 20% of the time leading.
I think 5%. Oh,
No,
Exciting,
0%.
how much is range leading?
Yeah, I would have thought so too. 9-7. It's connected towards the top there. 0.
Never. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, 2 overs, backdoor straights, backdoor flush. I don't think we ever get to fold for this price.
What if we get some check raises as well?
We never get a fold. We want to raise, though. I'm in the same
Yeah,
boat.
I think this is a good check raise board. Good combo
I
for
think
check raise.
I like
Oh.
raising better than calling, I think.
I think they're both fine. I think it's going to do both.
Queen of spades is going to check raise more than the 10 of spades. Queen of spades is going to be a little more relevant. But I could get behind it. Okay, how
Probably.
big are you check raising here? 5 or 8? Our vulnerable hands would want to go bigger.
Yeah, it's probably an 8 board, which means like, is this good enough after all?
Yeah, like I think I would call a lot here, but I can get behind some of this.
Can we get away with a little 5 as well? It's like,
At this stack depth, I think we get some 5.8s.
So our value hands here, like King 9 and Ace 9, that would want to check raise, are afraid to get flatted because of the danger of a 10 or a jack rolling off. So they're
We want
going
to mimic our value. Yeah, that's a good point.
like the 9 is like it's vulnerable here, and the cards that are going to continue against our check raise, like if they come, it's just going to be really hard for us to play King 9 on a 10 or jack turn or a spade turn, right? So I think they're going to want to get the money in now, which is why I think it's going to want to go big, which is why I think I want to call here a lot. But, let's take
all of that makes complete sense.
Oh my goodness, it's just folding.
Oh,
But the check raise line is reasonable. Check call is also reasonable here. So we find the check raise.
We're in the indifferent no man's land.
We are in the indifferent
Ooh.
no man's land. Holy hallelujah.
Is anyone shocked this is folding? I'm like in disbelief. Can we look at our range?
For sure.
I thought like 10 queen with a spade, like we have two overs, backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw, small bet, easy call.
Yeah, let's take a peek here. Yeah, like we're only folding a third of our range and it's folding this combo. I guess we have the lower spade stuff to defend. We have all of this stuff. We have lots, we have sevens, we have eights, we have nines. So our defense is coming from the middle of the deck, not from the top side of the deck. And then we also have the worst flush draw stuff that gets to defend too. So. Yeah.
It's worse than Jack 10 because Jack 10 has a direct gutter. It's worse than Queen Jack because they have the same backdoors, but Queen 10 loses to say Queen Jack. It's worse than King 10. It's like the worst high card one, right?
Yeah, it's the queen of spades as opposed to the 10 of spades. And that's also what I thought on the flop too. The queen of spades is much more relevant here for blocking his value than the 10 of spades. Right? Like we might see it even more in the king of spades. Yeah. King of spades doesn't matter as much. But queen 10, it's very sensitive to the size of the spade that you have. Yeah. I was a little surprised that this is folding too, but I mean, when we take the check raise line and we get this hand, this turn, I mean, we're definitely barreling here.
So I think this is one of those spots where this card's so good for our check raise range, we're gonna barrel small.
I agree. I would be betting 7 almost always here.
Do we go even smaller?
I could get behind that, but yeah, I think, well, the difference between 20 and 33, I mean,
True, negligible.
yeah.
I think
this-
we're like barreling range here, but I think we're barreling small. I don't think we really go large.
In my head, 7 makes sense. For some reason, I'm tempted to jam too. I don't know if I think it's right, but it just feels like it should be possible. But it
Yeah.
can't be right. I don't
Like,
know.
I'm planning to jam river a lot, so I can even see going super small here.
No, there's no way we jam. Alright, let's
We're
Yeah,
jamming
yeah.
river.
Yeah, just tiny. Tiny.
tiny.
Yeah, if we're gonna
Right.
bet small, we want to bet as small as possible so that our shoves
Yeah.
have more value from this.
Now I'm not bluffing. I don't know what to do anymore.
Check.
Wait.
Check and call all shoves.
I've been in this spot. I've been in this spot. What happened? I got there and I was supposed to check fold, I think. I
We're
think
not
that
check
was the
folding.
solution.
We're not check
I
folding
think
this.
I bet 3.
But in that one, my spade was lower, I think.
I like bet small actually.
Yeah, there's a 4-liner here and a flush.
Ah,
So yeah, like it's just gonna be hard for him to call with a hand that we beat. Because he's gonna fold because the floor liner too. Like he's not calling a jack anymore.
Can
Right.
have 7 of spades.
He can have the 7 of spades a lot. He can have the
Maybe
6 of spades.
we're supposed to just range jam. I don't know. This is weird.
Yeah, I'm checking here.
What
just think-
bluffs do we,
I kinda
Like,
like
I-
3.
what bluffs do we
No,
get
I don't
here
know
with?
of what I like.
Do we have any bluffs?
Yeah.
Like our bluffs are now like 2 pair.
Yeah,
Our sets are a bluff, I guess.
I
Our
bet
bluffs.
3, fold to jam.
are probably going to be the like pocket threes.
This might just be a range jam spot.
Do we still have any queen 8 of hearts or like something along those lines.
Hmm. Yeah. Man, tough spot. Bet 3 or just jam. All right.
And
let's play a
check is
tough
the
spot.
same EV.
Yeah. Like it's not great here, no matter what we do.
Bet 3 cuz we have no air.
God.
Calls
Yeah, I
is
mean,
third nut. Blocking both ends of the straight flush. Interesting, just call. Sweet. All right. Well, that was some good tough work today from out of position, right? So thanks for everyone tuning in, and we'll see you next week for some more of our range interaction series.